Well, payback's a bitch. This is a review for Claim to Fame, Season 2, Episode 5. Well, as I said, payback's a bitch. And Cole got his tonight, a week after betraying Shane, guessing her out of the competition. He got guessed out of the competition. Although Monet had nothing to do with it. I was predicting that she was the one that was really going to go after him. But it was Carson who ended up guessing him out because she just figured out who his celebrity relative was, and she was the one that got picked for guessing tonight. The competition they had. I felt bad for JR because he still has that foot thing. I mean, I know we do this, it's like every week, but when they filmed it, it must have been over like a month or so, and he's probably going to be limping throughout the season. But, they gave him a somewhat physically demanding job tonight. And he had to bounce around on that bad foot of his. And like I said, his telephone, which I guess was pretty popular from the last season because they mentioned it. And, they played the game. We have to remember something, and then you send it down the line. And then that person has to find objects and put them on the table. And like I said, one team lost, and then they end up sending Carson to do the guessing, and, she picked Cole. We see that Chris, he is really good at this game. He's holding on to his clue. That way, not only does he have, that if he gets picked as a guesser, but it's also an incentive not to be picked as the guesser because he didn't tell anyone who he picked, and that way everyone should be a little worried that he might have their clue. That's some smart strategy, and this is why we watch the show. I mean, once again, I've already said it. I already know who everyone is related to, just because the internet spoils those things, and if you don't want to know, stay off the internet. I won't spoil any of that here, but, if on the show they're guessing the right names, I might say something. So far, they're getting a lot wrong. Predictions? Well, I'm going to make a big prediction. I'm going to say that Chris is going to be in the final two, just based on how much they show him. Like, the show, I'm sure they filmed everyone every minute they got, but they show a lot of Chris because they know that he's going to be at the end in the top two. So, and like I said, he is very good at this game. I think he's somewhat safe because the only person who really probably knows who his relative was Jane, and she's out. So I think he's good. Carson, I think that it's a matter of them figuring out that they've got the wrong race car driver, but they all know that she's related to a race car driver. Olivia, they're completely clueless about her, and I think they're either catching on to JR or Gabriel. That what he said about his relative being in that. No, it was JR. That, JR's relative is not an athlete, and he's some kind of rapper, baby related. Hugo, they know who his celebrity relative is. It's Jimmy Carter. They put it out, so I'll spoil that for you. But like I said, they've already said it. I'm kind of confused as how he's lasted this long. I guess no one sees him as a threat because he's a goofy guy. Monet, Gabriel, that was impressive. Because even though I know who her celebrity relative is, I did not get that clue, but he got it. And I won't spoil that for you, but it's Monet. She's an African American. I believe her relative is her father's, which she's put out. And he was on SNL. And he was on Curb Your Enthusiasm. So I think you should know who that is by now. And I'm going to say lacking unless he wins the immunity challenge, I think Monet will go home next week. And we'll see.